will tell you, in this pandemic, June, well, my wife and I,
My wife.
We've been taking tennis classes and tennis lessons, and it's been so much fun.
Is there any video? Is there any video of that?
I actually do have some video of it. I got some video of us.
Oh, that would solve a lot of problems for the whole community that watches the show.
What? I think the phone is, the phone's broken. I can't even get into it. So we're taking tennis lessons, and the guy next to us on the court, and it's it's the public courts here in Griffith Park, so anyone can go up there. Is doing a full monologue from some sort of movie or show and doing it very loudly as he's playing his friend. It was so unnerving because at first I thought he was just like talking to his buddy. He was like,
"You're positive it's not a conversation?"
Because it was like this. It was a cold night, dark and stormy. I didn't know what could happen. And then like at that point I was like, oh, okay, he's telling a story. And it's like,
is it Christopher Walken? It sounded like Christopher Walken.
He was like, the pagers go off. The phones start ringing. Total mass hysteria. Mr. President, are you around? I'm like, well, you're not telling this. Like, and then our tennis teacher is like, oh my God, this guy. He was like, he does this all the time. Like
these are only LA problems. Like no one.
100%. But it's not like this is not like elite LA problem. This is like I am in a public public place with a guy running lines loudly. And all I could think about is the person he's playing against. It's like, yeah, I'll meet you for tennis as you monologue at me. Like he did the same monologue. And that's the other reason why I know it was a monologue. He did it 3 times in a row.
That's crazy. I wonder if he'll get the part. Well, it wasn't for young Sheldon, was it? Because
look, it had some elements that felt young Sheldon.
Oh no. Yeah, I wonder. I need to call my agent and see if I'm in the mix.
Young Sheldon, the character is an anti-vaxxer.
I did not know that. I don't know the universe, the young Sheldon universe.
Young Sheldon, he's an anti-vaxxer for H1N1 because for the show's timeline, that's what's going on.
It's way back then.
Yeah, it's way back.
So they baked that in there. That was smart of them.
And I think that's great. We're able to kind of look at the past and go to the future. So we're hoping that old Sheldon will be for the vax.
Yeah.
So we're not sure.
Did we even tell people welcome to the show? If you're a new person,
hey,
welcome to the show. This is the show. This is the show, by the way. It's me and Paul. Yeah. And we just talk and then we have fun people come on. Great people, I would say. Probably this show will win. Do they give Emmys for Twitch?
Maybe a Webby or Streamy.
Ooh. Oh my God.
Streamy up here.
When did you host? You hosted the Streamies. I didn't host. You think that we co-hosted? It was you.
It was
but
me.
I was there doing.
You did a bit. You did a funny bit.
It did not go over well.
We did not know the audience. There was a lot of problems in that Streamy Award show that I can think about.
Mostly technical problems. It was the first. I think you hosted the first Streamy Awards.
What happened was it went from like a ballroom in a hotel to a giant theater where you would host something like the Academy Awards. It was like a 2 or 3 level theater in downtown. They had like a red carpet, and it was one of those things. And I feel this way about the ESPYs too. It's too diverse. It's like. It's not like it's like
you've always been against diversity. I know that about you.
I have eaten shit at 2 award shows, and it is so upsetting.
But mean by diverse, you mean it's just not obviously. I'm trying to bail you out of saying it's.
Oh no, it's diverse in the sense that
it's too all over the place.
Players and golfers,
it's everything
and swimmers.
To everybody.
Yeah.
Well,
so
the problem is same thing with the ESPN thing is that the ESPN thing is that's a lot of athletes that frankly don't get comedy. I mean, I think we can agree on that. Most athletes are like, yeah. Like I remember when Riggle hosted the ESPYs, I don't know if I watched it, but I remember, I just feel like I've watched the ESPYs before and whoever's hosting, they don't like to be made fun of. No, they don't like to be the butt of the joke. Yeah.
Like it needs to be that level of comedy, which is not an offensive thing to say to Drake, but it's like we need because the other thing is that's who they want to see. Sport like I understand who Drake is. I don't want to see this other person, but the Streamies had the same thing, which is like the streamers are like people who are like I do a vlog about having dinner with my family. And then someone is like, I put a wig on and go, my name is Mimi,
Yeah.
and it's like, it was just like, it was an insane core. Like, so that was a very hard thing. And I had to do this opening monologue. The thing that was terrible about the opening monologue was I was backstage rehearsing it, and they left my mic on.
This was
So
the best.
everyone,
This was probably one of my favorite Paul Scheer moments, because you don't normally, I will say that of the two of us, I'm more likely to lose my shit about something, I think,
yeah.
and I remember you went backstage and you lost your shit and you didn't know your mic was on, and you were like, guys, what the fuck is going on? This is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And it was like going out to the audience.
Well, I think they had cut my mic at I was able to at least yell at them off mic, but when you do your monologue to an audience and they've already heard it, and that's the opening of the show, you are fucked. Like, it was like just doing stand up like in a low murmur, and it was. Oh, and I remember being mad. Yeah, you're right. I'm never that mad. I wasn't as mad though as the director, who left mid show. The director walked out of the control room in the middle of that show.
Yeah.
And then they were like, fill time. Like people were running up on stage and like ranking it. We were trying to do bits. It was such an epic disaster that I had to do that. I willingly and was excited to go to a like a talk session where like someone tried to bridge the it was such a it sent shockwaves through the internet community that I needed to go to a session where we all kind of just like hashed it out. It was dark. It was very dark.
Well, I remember, I think I did a bit where I came out as a porn star.
Yes.
That was being honored for something terrible, like best bukkake scene or something very graphic.
Yes, and you had like a full white suit, and you had like,
and we thought it was funny because it was like, the internet, there's so many different categories there.
Right.
Oh, there should be a porn star also getting an award next to these comedy shows or next to these sports guys. And so I came out with like some girls or porn stars, and I was in an all white suit talking about bukkake or something, and the audience was not having it. Like, not having it.
Nope.
There was.
By the way, funny bits, well-written bits, great people performing. We had Breck Gelman and you and everyone everyone did it. I will say, have you ever performed at the ESPYs?
No.
I did that, and that's the other time that I ate shit in such a way that was so terrifying. Seth Meyers was hosting the show.
Yeah.
And it was the year where a Canadian NHL team had won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And there was a riot that got started, and there was a very famous picture. And the famous picture, it appeared as if a man was like picking up a woman and kissing her, almost like that old 1940s, like World War II is over.
Times Square. Yeah.
And so this man is like kissing this woman. And Seth Meyers was like, we have this idea for a bit where we're going to honor the two of you, the kissers, as like being a moment in sports history.
Now, were these two strangers? Was it like a weird, aggressive kiss that?
Well, here's the thing that came out much later.
Okay.
They weren't kissing. This woman was hit in the head by some sort of shrapnel, and this man was helping her to safety. So it looked like he was leaning in for a kiss, but he was really just propping up her body after a tremendous head wound. So it was not romantic. It wasn't a kiss. It was totally done. And the worst part about it was, by the time the ESPYs came around, everyone had forgotten about it. So I am doing this bit with Lennon Parham.
Yeah, and
hilariously
it's like funny that people don't know. People are like, I don't remember what that was. Yeah.
And we are backstage, and Lennon is. I remember this clearly because we're at a big arena, like the Microsoft Stadium, like the one that's next to Staples. And she's like, what will we do if the laughs are so much? Like, what can we do? And
what do we do if people are laughing too hard and they can't hear us?
And I said, I don't think that's gonna happen. I
Yeah.
said, but we just play it like we're doing it in front of a live audience. We can just find those moments.
Yeah.
We go out there. They sit me next to Brooklyn Decker, who is now a friend because of Grace and Frankie and June, and a lovely person, but at that point did not know Brooklyn. And I remember Jonah Hill is behind me, and we're sat in this seat, and Seth calls us like, "Hey, and look, we actually have the kissing couple from Canada here." And our bit was, as soon as they said that, we were going to start kissing, and so, hey, a kissing couple's here. So we just are
You
making
and
out.
Brooklyn Decker.
No, me and Lennon. Sorry, me and
Oh,
Lennon.
sorry.
I
Yeah.
just happen to be sitting next to Brooklyn Decker.
Okay.
And so,
So
I'm,
you're
I'm
just so for a few minutes there, you were kind of name dropping. So Brooklyn Decker.
oh, I'm just saying,
Jonah Hill.
I'm just saying, I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
no.
that,
I want to write down some of these celebs. So I
oh
get
man,
them. I need to
I'm
find a
just
piece of
saying it.
paper.
I'm saying it
I
because,
found a pen. I'm just going to write it
oh
down here.
man, alive, you're gonna kill me on
Jonah.
it. Oh boy, you're
Jonah.
not even writing it down. So I, in the sense of, I just felt, all right. So I'll tell you what happened. So, they go, here's the kissing couple. We start kissing in our seats, and it's silent. It's deadly silent.
Yeah.
And like, and in the corner of my eye, I'm seeing Jonah behind, not laughing. I know that Brooklyn's not laughing. The bit is not going well. And then it's supposed to like heighten. Like we go from kissing in the seats to like falling on the ground.
Keep going.
And we and it's still, it's not, nothing's working. We have really like no lines. So we're just like kissing. And then they cut away from us. It flops. It's terrible. We walk backstage. We are mortified because we were next to these people and we were in the middle of this thing, and it just bombs so horribly. And then we have to come out 2 more times.
Oh God.
2 more times, and no one is cutting the bit.
Nightmare.
Oh, so we go out again, and it does worse. It does worse the second time. And the final moment, the final fucking moment, we go out on stage. We do it again. It fucking flops. It's terrible. And because all we're doing is kissing.
Yeah.
And then it's also like, yeah, we're kissing. And then we walk off stage, and there's Jay Leno. And he just kind of looks at me like,
I saw
you, idiot.
I saw Jay Leno in a Chinese restaurant in Hollywood one time. And my wife and I were eating. This is before the pandemic, and my wife and I were eating there. And we look over, and Jay Leno's there. I think he was by himself. All denim on top, denim on bottom.
Amen.
And I was literally like, I don't know anything about Jay Leno, whether he's a nice guy. I don't know whether he's a monster. I don't know anything about him, but he wears more denim than you can shake a stick at.
D&D do not go together. I mean, because he also wears blue top, blue denim on top and blue denim on the bottom. So like maybe you can get away with a darker jean jacket, but it's like he's camouflaged in the Gap. Like that's like he is rocking it's like a pale denim. It's not even rugged denim. It's pale.
Yeah. Hey, I want to ask your opinion on this. I think I already know what I'm going to do. But I got a request over Instagram, and I'm not putting this out there so that more people do this. Okay. But I'm just going to read this message I got because
I'm nervous. I've already gotten nervous.
Oh, you don't have to be that nervous, but I don't want to say their names, but hi, Rob. My fiance and I are big fans of your comedy. Children's Hospital and Medical Police are some of our favorite all-time shows. Right. I know this sounds like me doing a bit.
No.
That's always how
Yeah. You're not plugging.
They go into specifics about stuff that they love on Children's Hospital and Medical Police, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, but we're also weird introverts with very sketchy friends who wouldn't make good wedding officiants. Maybe we can afford you, maybe we can't, but would you be, but you would be our ideal candidate for saying funny things and making our grandparents uncomfortable while we say, I do. The date is blah, blah, blah in blah, 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 California. You'd have full creative control. You can say whatever you want. It'll be great. Here's a photo of us so you can tell how chill we are. We're totally chill. Yeah, we're chill. Let me know if this sounds like something you would be into. We would be so stoked. Okay, so I will say this. I think that's so nice and I'm so flattered, but I don't think I can do that. I don't know if
It's in California.
it is in California.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't Googled the city. It didn't sound, it might be Northern California,
Okay.
but I don't. Now, full disclosure, Henry Winkler married my wife and I. No, I'm
Right.
not lying. Paul came to my, I'm not making a joke, but I know Henry and I have known Henry for a long time from Children's Hospital, and he is like the loveliest person. So I know about asking unusual people to marry you is what I'm saying.
But I will say what was interesting about that is you didn't have Henry Winkler show up to your wedding and marry you. You had a co-star who
Yeah.
also happens to be one of the most iconic people ever.
And who also told me beforehand, which I totally wanted him. He was like, I'm not going to make jokes. Like, I'm going to take this very seriously. And he did. He wrote like a lot of stuff.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he was great. So I don't know if I want to be. These people sound very nice, and if they're watching, I don't know if they're fans of this show or if they even know about Twitch. If they're watching, oh god, now I got to look on the comments. If they're watching, I kind of just feel like it's like they don't really want that. Like, that's kind of what I want to say is like,
well, yeah,
I think that you think you want that. I would rather just meet you and high five you and give you guys hugs than create this memory for you that may not be what you really want, only because I'm a stranger. Just because I'm a stranger.
I was going to say that too. There's a couple of red flags in that that DM, meaning not that they're weird people, but I think that they may not have thought this out perfectly. Like, we want you to embarrass our grandparents. We want it to be crazy. It's like, you don't though. You want it to be like enough crazy that it's fun, but you are doing this thing and you got to walk a line. I think you do. And I think you can do it in many different ways, but
I mean, I heard a crazy story about a stand-up who I won't name who it is, but
no.
But anyway, he had a Elvis impersonator do his wedding, and he told the guy to go crazy. He said, "Go crazy." So the Elvis impersonator came out, was on acid, and really went crazy. Took his dick out and like pissed on like some of the people like there, like really went crazy. And I'm not saying that I would do that.
No.
But to tell
you would not
tell someone that you have full creative control, I'm trying to warn these people that it can go badly.
Now here's what I would do, and this is how I did it for my wedding. I've already told the story on the show, but I will succinctly tell it and say I hired a Jack Nicholson impersonator to be my best man at my wedding.
Yes.
And
I like that we're advocating against these things, and we have done these things.
Well, but here's why I think that worked. Both of our
that's
things
different.
worked.
Yeah, that was just a quick cameo, appearance at your wedding, and everyone knew it was.
But it was a bit that if it went south, it wouldn't wreck the night.
Yeah, and if that's not what I remember about your wedding,
Right, and it and the same thing with Henry. It's like I remember that being a beautiful ceremony, and Henry did a great job. Like, yes, it was Henry Winkler, but it didn't seem odd because you were working with him and you had worked with him, and it wasn't like it wasn't, But if you want to do a bit, like to me, I would say like, could you show up to our reception and give us a toast? Like that would be like.
Maybe funnier. Okay. Maybe I'll say that. Maybe I'll counter with that. Well, first of all, I don't even know these people, and I don't know where they live.
Yeah, if they live close.
I mean, I've had other people email me, like kids have emailed me and said, "Hey, will you be our graduation speaker?" Which I would totally do. I think the most recent one was like way far away, and I was like, and it was during COVID, and I'm like, I can't fly to fucking Vermont for that, But maybe that's a better approach to say, look,
because then you could get up and like you did that sketch with Rob Riggle back in the day at UCB called Kung Fu Grip, and there was a whole sketch that the two of you did. You were like the former exes of this woman.
We gave a toast at our ex-wife. Riggle and I had the same ex-wife, and we went to her. We crashed her wedding and gave a terribly inappropriate toast to her. So something like that would be. better.
Yeah, I think that there's a time for bits in weddings.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, even like, like, because I do think you want to keep some sanctity there. I think that they want to like woo you in as if, like, and this is what I think people don't get, like, as if you would be like, oh, I get to do, you're giving me creative freedom. I can't wait. Like, you're not looking like, it's not like you're like jonesing for that. It's not like, okay, now it's on. You know, I don't think. But yeah, I think if it was close, I would I think you should consider it.
Do it.
But then once you do it once, you can never do it again.
Well, especially after I talked about it on this. Now I'm gonna
yeah.
Maybe
you just
we should start we should start a new Cameo service where you can hire people in person to come to your special events and and wreck your events.
Well, it's sort of like kind of like the end of the Eric Andre movie. Like, you know, just send them in undercover and let's see what happens. Or, you know, bore at your own wedding. I mean, the thing is, it will, if it goes bad, your relationship is forever marred. Like it is, like it always like, and you hired Rob fucking Hubel to come to our wedding. And
that's like, do you remember when we got hired to do I mean, have we told that story on this show before? Should we tell that story?
No, we have like only a couple minutes before our first guest, but like, we were, I mean, that went badly. It
doesn't go well. Basically, long story short, when we were just coming up in New York, I mean, really, we hadn't done much.
We were nothing. We were just nothing. Yeah.
But we were performing at UCB, and I guess UCB got a call that they wanted. I can't remember how it came about, but some very rich people were having a wedding in Manhattan, and they hired our improv group to come in to the rehearsal dinner. Was it the rehearsal dinner?
It was the rehearsal dinner at one of the most
at a very swanky restaurant called Danielle. On the Upper East Side, right by Central Park. And they said, you can come in and we want you to do a bit. This is dating us, but a long time ago, there was a famous story on the internet about a runaway bride. It was a woman in Georgia who was at the altar, lost her mind, freaked out, and ran away. And like no one heard from her for a long time. It's called
They actually made a movie about it with like Julie.
It was like a Lifetime movie. So anyway, we got hired. Our improv group got hired to come and do a bit at this rehearsal dinner for these rich people. One side of the family loved comedy, loved UCB, had probably seen us perform. The other side of the family were like totally not fun, not into comedy. So at a certain point in this very fancy dinner, we run in with like
a bride in a wedding dress, right?
Bride in a wedding dress, and then a fake TV crew interviewing people at the rehearsal dinner.
Dr. Phil.
Oh God, it was
I was playing Dr. Phil, and I remember
talking about bits that didn't go well and were not appropriate for that venue. I mean, literally, it was not cool. And whoever hired us was probably psyched, but the rest of the people were like, we're being attacked. Like, what's going on?
Clearly, then we had to like one side of there was a fight of power in this family, and this is the one thing that the woman who hired us, this is like her only thing that she got to do for the whole wedding. So she was like, and I remember I had a mic, and I was like, what's your wish for the bride and groom? You know, whatever. My horrible, not even rehearsed Dr. Phil impression. And he grabbed the mic out of my hand. I remember he was like, you tell them. They know what I want, and I want it soon. And they better give it to me.
The grandfather said that?
The grandfather, yeah. Like it was like he was basically saying, I want grandkids, but it was
what I want. You tell them. Yeah, I think he thought we were a real TV crew.
Yeah. Oh, it was rough. It was rough. And I'm trying to actually find the picture of it because I actually have a picture from that night.
Oh my God, really?
I took a picture of the food because I'd never been in such a fancy restaurant in my life.
And we were all broke and poor. And like, remember, we didn't get paid. They just said, we're not going to pay you. We'll give you a dinner, at this restaurant. We'll give you one of the plates and you guys can eat and we ate in the kitchen or something. Like we were eating like a fucking 5-star meal, like in the kitchen. But also licking our wounds because we just bombed. we're just like, oh, that fucking sucked. Look, filet mignon. This is delicious.
Oh, it is the worst. I mean, we performed in so many shitty venues, especially first of all, improv is a hard art form.
Yeah. We should talk to Andy about this. I've had Andy.
Yeah, he'll be coming up, and once he comes in, we'll pop him in.
Oh, he's not here yet. Okay.
Like we performed in so many shitty venues. Do you remember that one time that I don't know if you remember? It was like in an art gallery. Oh well, here we should bring in Andy and see.
I remember.
Once he's all ready to go, we'll get him in.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
That was early days in New York when we were like willing to, when you're just starting out, obviously I would perform fucking anywhere in New York, anywhere. And some of those places are not cool for comedy. Like someone talked us into performing improv at an art gallery, and it was like serious night of art and photography and short films, and then sad short films, and then improv comedy.
And they were looking down at us like we were in like
a line, like a pit. Wasn't it a Japanese art gallery? Yes. I don't think anyone spoke English. I think we're doing all English improv comedy to a Japanese
very hard. Oh yeah. Like let's pop in Andy, because I know Andy probably has that same kind of thing.
Andy,
what's going on?
Hi guys. Oh, nothing much.
How are you?
How are you? Good.
Good. Are you at home in your Los Angeles mansion?
I am. I'm in my bedroom.
Oh yeah, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul and I were just telling old bombing stories, like bombing in New York at weird, doing comedy in places that comedy should not be done in. We got hired one time to do a wedding, a rehearsal dinner, a bit at a rehearsal dinner. Did not go well, of course,
Right.
And but we were saying that when we were first starting out, I don't know if you ever had anything like this in Chicago, because you were in Chicago, right?
Right.
Beginning.
Yeah, and there wasn't like a lot of. Sorry, my dog's mad that I'm on Twitch.
He wants you to live stream on YouTube. He's very it's really bizarre, right? But,
yes,
there wasn't like a lot in Chicago, because it was Chicago. So, and there wasn't any creative, dynamic young person going out and finding weird venues for us to perform in. The closest one that comes to that is I once, with a group, and I don't even think it might have been a team, because it was Improv Olympic and you got split up into teams. Yeah. And then that was your team. And then some people got on a team and stayed on it. I kind of was around in different, different ones, and never stuck with any one team. But I guess it was probably the team that I was with, or just like a weird catch-all of who could do it, that went to some suburban high school, and they had something called a Venetian night, which I don't know what was Venetian.
I don't even know what that is
about it, but in each classroom around, they were like different things, and then it was progressive. So it's so we did I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 half-hour, 20-minute improv shows in a classroom of a high school, and then you go somewhere else and it'd be like candle making, or I'm sure that there was some other entertainment of some kind, but and I remember John Favreau was with me on that one.
Yes, I forgot that, because Favreau came out of there too, right?
He was a Chicago improviser, and and it was just, I mean, I don't even remember specifically. I remember just feeling like, oh, this is going to suck. And it kind of sucked. And it's just, I mean, improv's already so awkward and weird,
If you're not there willingly, it doesn't translate.
No, not
too
ever.
hard of a bridge to jump to, because it's like, all right, if you're going to go see stand up, we all understand what that is. Here's a person telling us jokes. Here's 5 people dressed kind of shittily, with that look like they're just kind of walking around on a stage pretending to drink cups of coffee or whatever, whatever. And it's hard to be like, oh no, we're making this up. This is an art. It
they don't care. They don't care. An improv audience has to, I've always said, and I don't think it's terrible. Improv it apologizes for itself right off the bat. Like when the audience sits down, there's kind of this understanding of like, hey, cut us some slack. We're making this shit up, you know? Yeah. And so the audience they know that, and they have to be a little bit more like, you know, like there's some scenes it'll take a couple minutes to figure out where you are. And if they're not into that, you're fucked. You know?
But you might see something, you could see something incredible. Like I remember seeing like, you know, when I first got into like UCB in New York, like I remember going to see Solo Arts, and I think you were doing some shows with those guys early on because you knew them from Chicago. Like every now and then, I did
a lot of the monologues in the beginning.
Yeah. And I remember seeing like you, like John Glazer, and like Brian McCann. These are all Conan writers. Brian Stack, Brian McCann. And just being blown away by, and there were great women there. I'm Tina Fey, obviously, Miriam, so amazing. Rachel Dratch, you know, amazing people. But for every time you would see like a magic thing like that, you would have to sit through some crap too.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Well, you just
and very rarely do you get a. Yeah, and very rarely did you get a whole show like that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and I've been on stage for shows that were like, wow, what just happened? You know,
I think the secret is like what you said, like the audience is in it with you. And so when you do good, it's actually better because they feel a part of the process. So it's like why improv doesn't translate when you try to tell anybody after you've left the venue, like, oh, and then they did this thing where they were in outer space and he had a flag and the other guy, well, he had a sandwich, but he had the sandwich because in the first scene, he was eating the sandwich he was paid. It's like, it all falls apart. It's like telling someone your dream. It just is like, it was cool, but it is such a weird moment, but it is so fun. But did you ever do those? Like I did a lot of late night high school graduation shows, which were Chicago City Limits. When I did Chicago City Limits, which was more of a short form, like whose line is it anyway audience, they would come at midnight. So they had already had their prom, and then they would come to us as like the second thing.
Oh wow. Oh, you mean they would come to you?
Yes.
Oh,
they would come
at Chicago City Limits.
Yeah, we would do shows. We would do shows like that. And for some reason, and I don't know who said, somebody in our group, but it was when we a group of us broke off of Improv Olympic,
right,
and basically stole Sharna Halpern's space. They were in the basement of an Italian restaurant, and there was like this coup, or this like breakout group because two of the guys in our group had befriended the Italian brothers that owned the restaurant, and so they finagled this thing of like, we're going to start our own group of like, and it was not even really arguably some of the best people at IO at the time, like the top kind of tier of people from different teams broke off and did our own thing. We had this thing called the Comedy Underground. It was really an amazing group of improvisers, and Stack was in it, McCann was in it, and a lot of other people. And, we used to, when we had that space ourselves, we would do a lot of singles groups. And I remember specifically numerous times we did it for Jingles, which is Jewish singles.
Wow.
And it was possibly the dorkiest audience like ever. And every single suggestion was, it was like from an 80s movie, like, and it was not just the guys, it was like women too going like, penis! And like, no, come on, guys, let's try something else.
We used to have like those,
all right, elbow fucking, let's do that.
We need a profession, not a gynecologist or a proctor. We'd always have to have like build in what you couldn't say. And it was like, it was so upsetting.
Yeah, sure. Do you remember, there was someone that we knew from, a friend of ours that was performing at UCB who, this is just another like side job that we got. Her dad was doing corporate training, so we would get hired. He would hire like 4 or 5 people to go to these companies in New York and do like sexual harassment training. And I remember like going to like, I think the World Trade Center and doing like, obviously before 9/11, like sexual harassment training, interactive performances with employees. Right. It's like the most fucking bizarre stuff. But
it sounds so like rife for something horrible to happen.
Yes, of course. But it's when you're first starting out, you're just like, yeah, what does it pay? $400? Great, I'll go there and do that. That's a lot of money to me,
Yeah, that money was always great. Like that was the allure. It's like, come and do a murder mystery night in Albany, and you can walk away with $300. Like, yes, I'll put on my detective hat and let's go. Like,
yeah.
So you guys are younger than me. I don't think it was that. It was never that much money for shit like that back in Chicago. But again, you know what? If you were in Second City, I think you did a lot more of that kind of stuff because they were. It was just like a better run business where they were always seeking that kind of extracurricular gigs.
Right.
I once did a bat mitzvah, and our dressing room was.
Was it arranged, or did you just sort of?
I just showed up.
It was
because look, they want the entertainment. We would always like, that was part of the touring company that I did in the short form group, and they are, here's your dressing room, and the dressing room was the kitchen where all the catering was, and we were running in and out of the kitchen, but it was really an audience of, if there were 20 people there, then that would be like the max. I think it was probably more about like 12 to 15 that we're performing for that small of a group. And we did our show, and of course it was terrible. And then
was it a set show or an improv show?
It was an improv show, but it was like, we're going to do Jeopardy, where you shout out the answer and we tell you the question, so it was all short form games. And then at the end they said, oh, wait here, the host wants to see you. And then the host came in and then tipped us like it was just a weird moment, like taking out $50 bills and giving them to each one of us individually, like shaking our hands and palming us like a tip for a show that was so bad. And we're standing in the kitchen, moving out of the way of caterers. And I was psyched for that money, but also felt dirty taking it.
Yeah. There's a spectrum of that feeling, of like, I don't feel good about that, but I'll take the money.
Andy, I know people have, I'm sure everyone has asked you this already, but how are you feeling post show? Do you feel like, are you traumatized? Do you feel like you are, where are you mentally?
I'm okay. I do have, our schedule, especially during COVID year, was so, I mean, we had like a bunch of 3 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So I got used to, in COVID, not working and just kind of having like a day to do shit with, to kill. So there's part of me that's kind of used to it. And also I just, I've been an actor before. So I've known like, oh, I don't have anything to do for a week and a half.
Yeah.
And so you just got to figure something out so you don't feel like a complete loser.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit more used to it than say like some of the writers. Like I think some of the writers are going nuts,
Yeah.
And so, but I still like I took my kids on a vacation to Mexico, and then I just was home in Illinois for a family funeral, and so I came back on Monday morning, and I do feel this like, okay, school is back in. Like just from in this last week, I felt like, oh yeah, right. I don't have a job. Every day that goes by is a day in which I am not earning some money. So it's a little bit more, I mean, just in the last few days. And it's not like a panic, but it's a bit of like, you know what? I better do those dishes. It's like, I better, figure out what's going on with my career.
I felt the same way this week because my son started school, and normally it's like I can drop him off, but I can't pick them up because I got something going on.
Yeah.
And this week it was like, can I pick them up? Like, I can pick them up every day. I can
And
I was like,
I can just stay there and wait for him.
I know my wife keeps going like, what's your schedule next week? And I'm like, let me just let me look at this. What day were you thinking? I'm vaguely open that day.
Yeah. Weekdays are good. Weekdays are good.
Yeah.
I also think that there's like a thing going on. I was going to tell you this to Rob before you got on, Andy, like that we're in a weird zone, especially in LA. It's August, which is a weird month, in the sense of like, okay, it's kind of the end of summer, but we've also just had off like 18 months. Like, so it's like, it's an extenuation of it. Like these Delta numbers are going up. It feels like we're back in our, like, it's just like this. I feel like there's like a weird, like low level, like depression that's kind of just sitting on top of everyone. Like, we're excited. We're gonna go out. Yeah, well, there's things to do. I'm just not choosing not to do them. Like I just feel like but it's like we are kind of still in the same spot. And I feel like there was like a brief window of 3 weeks where it was like, let's do it. We're back, baby. And now
for literally
here comes life. Life is back on. Like
I flew to fucking Phoenix to watch a basketball game. I had reckless abandon. It was like, I got my shots. Let's go. Like, it was like it was all good. And now I'm like, oh well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I thought I was like Superman for about 3 weeks. I was like, no,
yeah. Well, I mean, we, like I say, we flew to Mexico and nobody got COVID, and I just went to Chicago and back, and nobody got COVID. And I went to a funeral with some people with a lot of not mask wearing folks. A lot of folks not wearing masks at this funeral, and just having to hope, like, okay, I hope this works.
I know. Man, I'm so sorry about the funeral. That's not cool.
It's okay. Thank you. It's my uncle passed, and he had been sick for a while, and it's what happens with these old people.
Yeah, that's the deal. That's the deal.
At a certain point, they stop living.
Yeah,
but I loved him. It was my Uncle Bill, was my mom's the oldest sibling of my mom and her siblings, and it was nice. It was, I mean, it's like, it's sad, but it's also nice to see everybody and together.
When it's not, I mean, look, every death is tragic, but sometimes, like you said, like there's a moment where we're like, okay, we know that this may be on the horizon, and there's a nice moment to, like, I don't know, get together. Like, I feel like you're all in a backyard or in a house, and it all of a sudden is like, oh, we're having a good time here. This is like not a terrible moment.
And you're there to celebrate somebody in the family, and you're with your family, and the family's not always together in that sense. And so, it's sort of, the least of what our tribe can do.
Right. Yeah. Andy, I don't want to hold you up because I know you have dinner plans, but I wanted to. And
we would like to come along with you. You can.
We're coming along with you.
I'm just going to get my daughter and bring her back here.
Just tell us.
Are you making dinner?
Oh,
I'm making dinner. Yeah.
Oh wow! Is it going to be? What is it going to be? Deviled eggs?
No, it is. It's like a chicken and rice, like a roast con pollo kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Can you make a lot? Because me and Paul, I know where you live. Me and Paul can swing by.
You guys can come by if you want. There will be some. I'll leave it out in the driveway.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
No, but Paul and I thought it would be helpful. I wasn't sure where you were mentally or work wise, but anyway, I thought I could help out. I went on Craigslist, and I think I texted you this, and I think I found some jobs that may or may not be of interest to you. You can shoot them. Feel free to shoot them down. I'm not married. I'm not married to them, but a couple of them I thought were kind of promising.
Don't worry. I will not. I'm ready. I'm very,
all right, we're gonna pop
humble.
it up here on the screen.
Okay, let's
put it on the stream. Here we go. Boom. All right.
Oh,
so here you go.
Okay, this is looking for armed patrol officer in Rancho Palos Verdes. You have to have a clean driving record, social security card, blah 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 blah. So this is just the first one out of the gate. I don't know if you want to drive down to Rancho Palos Verdes to be an armed security guard.
Did you read the post detail?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to get to that. It is, the fine print says patrolling a cemetery.
No, cemetery.
Oh, a cemetery.
It says
cemetery.
cemetery.
I thought that's
It says a place where they make cement.
Yeah.
Look, guys, so maybe the company isn't, run by a bunch of grammarians, but they're top notch.
If you run a cemetery, you should know how to spell cemetery.
Yeah.
They don't run it,
I
Paul.
agree.
They patrol it for
But this
ghosts.
is not. This is.
You got to be.
For
Look,
ghosts.
so I don't know if you're up for. You got to be able to lock and unlock gates. You got to remove.
I can do that.
You got to remove guests who are drinking on site and not following the rules. I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah,
This
I know.
is what I don't like about this is need to hire ASAP. First come, first serve. Doesn't seem like.
That's not what you say on a job application.
So just think about it.
With a gun.
Just
First
think
fella
about
gets down here with a gun's got himself a job.
Yeah, you have to have your own firearm and your gun permit. But yeah, I mean, you can shoot people in a cemetery. The good thing about shooting people in a cemetery is obviously you're already in a cemetery. So
Right.
up to you. Take it or leave it. What else we got?
Right.
I'm going to pass on that just because of the ghosts.
Okay,
yeah.
Fair.
I don't need.
This is a tough one.
I would empty my gun into every ghost I saw.
Yeah, well, that's a natural reaction. This next one is this would take a little bit of work on your end, I will say, but a beard model. I saw $100 an hour, and I was like, that's good money.
Yeah.
And this is for beard commercials. Okay,
Please read it all out loud, Rob. Read it all out
a men's grooming brand is looking for bearded men for beard product commercials. Hourly rate is $100. You'll need a half-inch long or longer beard, age 18 to 55. This could be long-term contract work if you fucking have the right beard and personality.
Yeah,
If you got the facial hair for the job, click the link. So it could be good. Again, you're kind of starting from scratch. I don't know how long it would take.
By the way, I would like to maybe jump in on this one because I have a little bit of a beard and I've shaved it down, but $100 an hour seems like a fair price for beard work. But how much? Like, how many photos of a beard do you need? Like, this is a long-term contract. Like, what's happening here?
It's got to be a long-term contract, but for a side gig. I mean, I can't imagine there's like a minimum, like you're going to get working on a draw like a salesman,
Yeah. I don't know how it works. What else?
I feel like this is undercover pornography.
And
I feel like
I couldn't do it because I'm 54 right now, and I'd need at least 3 years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To get, over a half.
Well, we won't do it.
Yeah.
We'll go on to the next one. What else?
All right, here we go.
K-pop DJ. I don't know if you know anything about K-pop, but
I know it's from Korea.
Yeah. So you gotta, you have to. We're looking for DJs who are fluent in understanding and have deep knowledge of K-pop, BTS, Blackpink, TXT, Stray Kids. These are all K-pop bands, I'm assuming.
I would assume, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Or there's some kind of street drug.
Right. TXT sounds like a great street drug.
Yeah.
And Stray Kids.
Give me some of that Blackpink.
Yeah.
That's a cat tranquilizer in the vet plate.
So yeah, they can only consider.
What I love about this one,
yeah,
is that how many hours can you DJ for straight? Like, can you be like, oh, I could DJ for 12 hours like that? Like they're looking for length. Like they don't care about this. The DJ, they want the length, not the sound.
It's quantity, not quality.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I could DJ for like 48 hours if they just let me put on a playlist and then go take a nap or something,
Well, yeah. Well, maybe you should think about it. I mean, because I know you love K-pop, so
I do.
Think about it.
I will think about it.
Okay.
I do. When I've DJ'd before, I've been thrown out because they think I'm just some old creep.
Yeah,
that's lurking around all the young people.
Yeah. Well, were you hired to DJ at this function?
I was not. I just brought headphones.
So that's what it was.
Nightclub. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
yeah. Well, that is also good because then it's a conversation starter because you can always get out of a conversation when the song's ending. Like, oh, I gotta head back to the booth.
Gotta
By
go.
The way, I'm gonna start wearing headphones around like that. Oh, I gotta get back there.
Yeah.
I got it.
All right, let's see what else. We'll give you one or two more before you got to go here. All right.
Diabetes study. I don't know if this is for you. I don't know how you feel about this. I just like the picture of the guy. The guy seemed pretty psyched about having diabetes.
I just don't think there's any amount of money that they could pay me that I would agree to get diabetes.
Yeah,
you know what I
you
mean?
do. You have to get diabetes for this gig.
I mean,
So-
I would, of course, you'd have to get paid for that. If
Yeah,
you're gonna go
at that
from
point.
Yeah.
zero
But if you
to
have it-
diabetes.
But if
Oh,
you
that's
got it,
true.
If
I
you already
didn't think
have
about
it.
paid
that.
for it.
If you already got it, okay.
That'd
That'd
be a
be
good
better
gig.
for somebody that's already have it.
Yeah.
Already has it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
All right.
this one I liked a lot because I always wondered about the electric scooters that you see around LA and a lot of cities. I just wondered like what happens. I didn't know that obviously there's a guy that goes around and picks them up and recharges them.
Right.
So, this says get started juicing scooters with Lime.
I will tell you, I've seen this happen, and it's the most abusive relationship I've ever seen. It's like a guy driving around in a truck, slinging these scooters in the back of it is an angry profession because I feel like they're just like hoisting them over their head. It's like these things are getting destroyed as you know, 'cause you gotta, scooters aren't like necessarily that easy to manipulate or get.
Oh, that's razor scooters.
Yes.
I don't know if your kids have razor scooters and you've like tried to cross a garage that has a couple of razor scooters on the floor.
No.
Yeah.
It's the most people talk about stepping on Legos.
Yeah.
A razor scooter is like, it's like getting a karate chop to the chins.
Right.
The shins. and it's just no way. I have at least 5 times in my life picked up a razor scooter that like tripped me or something and just flung it, like into a wall.
These I don't really understand how this job works. Someone smarter than me will know, but like I don't know how you charge them back up. I guess if
you go home and you have like a space where you can charge them.
You must, yeah. You got
it must be a depot. You must go to like a cemetery and drop them off or something.
Cement factory.
Yeah, maybe there's a big Lime headquarters, and you take it to the Lime headquarters, and then they trade you, charged ones for the dead ones.
Yeah. It doesn't say how much money this is, so I'm not sure. All right, Paul. I think we got maybe
this one. This is actually going to interfere with my job collecting grocery carts out of alleys.
Oh, gotcha.
I already am doing that. So
now this one I liked. I'll read it to you. Chemistry tutor for a kid in Brentwood. I'm planning to buy the C3000 chemistry set on Amazon. It's a very serious chemistry set with dangerous chemicals, though some have to be purchased separately. I need someone who is experienced in chemistry experiments and safety and someone who knows a lot about chemistry. I know nothing except what I remember from high school chem class. You would come to the house, do experiments with my insanely smart and passionate about chemistry 10-year-old. He read 2 chemistry books on his own. There is no class or grade or anything that needs to be memorized. It should be fun and interesting. You must be extremely knowledgeable about chemistry and ideally quick and bright with a high IQ, or my son will most likely not tolerate you for long. We homeschool, so the schedule is flexible. If you have a chemistry set that you prefer, I'm happy to get a different one. Ideally, I can hire you to acquire the things needed for the gig that are not included as well. I have no idea what a fair rate for this would be, so tell me what your rate is in response.
Wow.
Not enough. Not enough.
That feels like a very LA specific job.
Yeah.
This reminds me, Sheer, of the time that am I talking out of school here? When we went to Ben Stiller's house. Were you with me when we went to Ben Stiller's house and he had
No, I've never been.
Okay. Maybe that was somebody else. One time I went to Ben Stiller's house. It was with Jason Wallner, and we were meeting with Stiller about doing something. And Stiller's super nice and lovely, but I was cracking up because the whole time we were there, he had a personal karate instructor teaching karate to his son, who was like, 7 or 8 years old at the time. And the guy was just like I wanted that job. I was like, oh, I want to be the karate instructor for Ben Stiller's son. But anyway, the Brentwood chemistry instructor job, it felt like when I read about that, Andy, it felt like something you could pull off. You don't think you could do it?
No, that sounds like every teacher or every parent at school that I have like it took me a couple of grades to know, and then I'm like, okay, goodbye. Like, oh shit, here comes that guy. Or, yeesh, there she is.
Yeah,
No,
I read that and it felt like a movie pitch to me. I was like, oh, this is a weird job, but a great movie. Like
right, exactly. Yes. There was a movie. It was called the Dead Zone. It was basically that's Christopher Walken in the Dead Zone.
Yeah.
When I was doing when we had our first kid, we're in this daze. It's just our lives are totally flipped upside down, and we're getting fat. We're just at home. We're drinking earlier than normal. And we're sleeping weird. And we're like, we need to hire a trainer to come to the house and train us. And we would get the trainer to come to the house during the baby's first nap, which was between 7 and 9 in the morning, whatever it was. And the trainer was great. And I remember him telling us that he trained a woman who would run a mommy and me group in her house, but she would not attend the mommy and me group. She had her nanny with the baby downstairs, and she would work out during that time. So she would come into the room with the mommies and be like, "Hey, everybody! Oh, I'm so happy you're here," and then go upstairs and then train. It was such a bold move, right? To be I'll host this, but I will not be a part of it.
And also because it's really, those are the only 2 hours in the day that you can do. You couldn't overlap them. You want to really make it visible that you cannot be bothered to spend an hour with your child.
The last one, Andy, and then we're going to let you go. I know you got to start cooking the chicken. Is this is I think this is Jay Leno. Jay Leno is casting contestants for his new game show, which is You Bet Your Life, hosted by Jay Leno, the king of comedy, looking for people of all ages who are fun.
Say the king of comedy?
No. I am.
Okay.
I threw that in there.
The text is small, so I can't see.
Yeah. So anyway, these are just jobs to think about.
This one's a pretty fun one because it's this is do you want to have a good time and a chance to win money? Are you the life of the party? Do you love to play games? Are you never at a loss for words? Are you a natural born storyteller? This is you have to do a lot on this show. Normally it's just be smart. Can you guess the price of something? This you have to be a full on performer. I mean, this is
you got to be a great interesting person to hang out with Jay.
Oh boy.
Well, because you got to inspire him.
Yeah.
He's not going to bring the comedy. You have to bring it to him, and he'll tell you whether or not you got the goods.
Yeah.
By the way, why? And I don't mean to talk out of school. I don't know Jay Leno. I'm not trying to start a beef with you, Andy. But isn't there a famous story that the only money he's ever spent is from his stand-up, and he saved all of the money from the Tonight Show? So
yes,
my question is, why is he hosting You Bet Your Life? And no one knows, but.
Because he's got to do something to get out of the house. I think it's mostly probably his wife.
Probably pay for the gasoline in all those cars too.
Yeah, she flicked on the TV and put on the guide, and Me TV was up, and there was You Bet Your Life with Groucho. She goes, do that.
Yeah.
All right. On the but no, he said that about his. I just was talking to somebody about this the other day. About him saying he never spent his Tonight Show money, which is such a bizarre defense of your humility.
Yeah,
I have a huge pile of millions of dollars I'm not even touching.
Yeah,
he's not a great humanitarian. It's not if it would be one thing, it's I gave all my Tonight Show money to charity.
No,
well, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. Yeah. It's just sitting there. That's the other sort of weird area where there's blinders. But the reason that it was always said, I think, was in response to the wow. Did you really sneak into a closet and press your ear against the wall where they were making decisions? And did you really do all this weird conniving to, get the Tonight Show away from your supposedly old friend, David Letterman? Yeah. And the answer is yes. So he has to put out I was just a passive victim of the circumstance when they forced the Tonight Show on me. It's he's trying to seem I never really sought it out. Like, well, okay.
It's a weird thing because like
it's
sought
really
out the
weird.
fame. You may not have needed the money, but you wanted to be on the TV. Like it's a weird.
It's like
thing.
what a really sophisticated alien life form would say to approximate human behavior.
Yes.
Like it would sort of understand the dynamics of like and how the wiring works and say like, well, how about this? I never spend that money.
Yeah.
I buy all the fresh fruit, but I never eat it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, you got.
All right.
What's really awkward is that Jay is our next guest.
Oh,
on the show.
wow.
Yeah.
Andy,
why didn't you tell me?
I should have told you.
I heard an old jalopy down the street earlier. He is
Andy, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm sorry.
No.
I was just gonna say, you do see Jay Leno a lot in Burbank driving anywhere from sublime cars to like weird hay racks with boilers on them.
Right. And
it's frequently.
I need to see this.
Yeah. And probably like without a mask and like, hey, it's Jay Leno. Look who it is.
Yeah. He's. I mean, you see him all the time. He's famous here. He also is very famous for giving roadside assistance.
Oh, for real?
Shut real, yeah.
Because
he knows what he's doing. There's so many stories about I was broken down in the Burbank area and Jay Leno pulled over to help because he actually does no
stops.
shit. Yeah. He stops.
That's
when
the show.
That's nice. That's
the reality show.
Nice.
I want to watch
that's
that.
Great. Yeah.
But unless it's like only women that he then fucks or something like that.
I don't think that didn't seem to be the point.
Dude, I'm so psyched to see you, Andy. And
thank you.
And I'm so glad.
Yeah,
and I want to play. Andy and I played golf a couple of weeks ago, and he's a great golfer. And I want to play more golf with you. I'm terrible.
You. It was fun.
Yeah.
No, it was fun. It was fun. The greatness is beside the point.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, Andy hits the ball and goes, "That's how you fucking do it."
Oh, wow.
Right.
It's kind of it's a little aggressive. It's a little aggressive.
And it's only to people that aren't playing with us. Like
it's just
one fairway over.
Yeah. All right, great to see you, buddy.
Bye, guys. Good to
see you. Thanks. Paul, you dropped you can't drop people that quickly.
In, out. Well, I don't want to keep our next guest waiting because she is here, and she's not only here, but she is on New York time.
She's on New York time.
She is the star, the creator of a hilarious show on Hulu called Difficult People.
Oh my God.
Please welcome Julie Klausner. We'll talk about all of her other great stuff as well. But Julie, how are you?
Yes. Julie. Hi, Julie. Uh-oh, she's on her phone. She's a little frozen. Uh-oh.
We got her. We're gonna get her. We're gonna get her back.
We're gonna get her back.
And it's gonna be great. Well, I would say, like, I'll continue my introduction for her as well.
Yeah.
She also has a great podcast with Tom Sharpling right now that I am absolutely loving, and wrote a book that if you've never, it's one of my favorite. It's called "I Don't Care About Your Band," and it's her stories of dating these kind of interesting. I'm not going to call them losers. I would say they're all different types of guys in New York, and and it's such a great.
Do we know people in that book? I bet we do. We'll have to talk to her about it.
There you go. Oh yeah. All right, let's pop her in. Let's see. Let's pop her in there.
See. There she is.
Now can we hear you? Can we hear you now?
Can't hear you.
We cannot hear her.
Can't hear her. That's all right.
No.
Maybe she.
Let me make sure. We're gonna see. We're gonna figure out something.
Could be.
There's a mute button, maybe.
There's a.
Okay,
she's gonna come back on. Okay, she's gonna fix it. She's gonna fix it.
We're down with it. We're excited.
This happens. That's all right. This is all part of it. Part of it. I hope I didn't start a beef between Andy and Jay Leno.
Oh God, no. I think that damage has been done. I think that Jay Leno is a constant punchline. There. People are suggesting that we should do a charades interview with Julie Klausner.
A charades interview.
Yeah.
I wonder why she's on her phone.
Who knows?
That's
She's got we'll figure out. She'll pop back on. Man, Andy is so funny, and I feel like Andy is also one of those guys that we're talking about all these like weird gigs that we've done when we were young, but also the weird gigs that we've done as like adults too. Like I feel like every now and then you may I just feel like I've walked into rooms and been like, all right, you're here, I'm here. We both are like, okay,
Wait,
about this thing.
are you're talking about performing or
Performing things. Like I feel like there was one like Funny or Die video where we all just were kind of in this like one big green room. We're like, what will this be? I have no idea. But like Andy is just down for it.
Yeah. I've certainly said yes to a million, funny videos and short films, and there she is.
Sorry about that.
There she
no
is.
problem. You missed our continually longer introduction for you. Where
oh no.
But I will say that in addition to everything that you do that's so good, I just was reminded of how much I loved your book. I Don't Care About Your Band, which is such a great book, and also, it was such a kind of amazing journey through New York City dating and these guys that you would meet in town. I don't know. I just love that book.
Julie,
so much.
I feel like I see your name now on every TV show, like literally but on like all the great comedy shows. I'm always like, oh, there's Julie. Like your name is on everything. It's amazing.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't seen you in like a million years. They should clear
that with legal. They should change.
They should clear it with legal.
They should like change at least one letter before they make the character like.
They shouldn't just be throwing your name.
No, I agree. I think it's terrible. By the way, Team J. I just caught the end of that.
I know. You're a big J fan.
I'm a huge Leno head, and I just wanted to mention that not wear a mask. That guy's got like how many denim masks?
Yes. Yeah.
By the way,
true.
He didn't even need an KN95 mask. He just used denim, which actually has all the same properties.
I feel like he's just like a back pocket. Like he could just take a back pocket.
Yes.
And then I don't know, like a couple rivets.
Yeah. That would actually be if Jay Leno sold denim like I would not be surprised if that was a thing.
And then he doesn't touch the money. It doesn't go to COVID. No. It doesn't like go to charity. It
doesn't touch it.
I think like he figured out a way to like hook a carburetor up to make sure that like he's like cleaning out his lungs at all points, or he like he maybe fixes COVID. Like he's got his own ventilators. I feel like that would be like something we'd hear on the news. Like we had a ventilator shortage. Jay's like, I figured it out with some.
Jay Leno's garage has been converted into an ICU, and he's making ventilators. Old Edsel, like keyboards, is that a thing?
Yeah.
I was talking about this. We were talking about it earlier in the show about like terrible moments when you're performing or like award shows. And I hosted or I presented a category at the Creative Arts Emmys, which is the pre-Emmy ceremony. It's as people have called it. Not myself. They said it's Emmys for ugly people, which is not
nice, Paul. That's not nice. That's not nice.
That's what the host said when I was there that night, which is a terrible thing to say, but especially to the people who are getting the awards. Because why insult them? They're getting an Emmy. But I remember that I was presenting this Emmy category for short form live action, and there were 3 nominees, and all 3 of them were Jay Leno web series.
Oh God.
I thought you were going to say all 3 were Randy Rainbow, but okay, yeah.
So they were like, it was like Jay Leno's garage, Jay Leno's classic cars, and they were like tooling around town with Jay. Yeah. And when the winner was announced, and it wasn't a bit, the gentleman jumped up as if like he was the same producer on all 3, because they had to say the name 3 times, jumped up like and gave the most impassioned speech about.
And Jay was not there?
Jay was not there. No. It was just the producer of the 3 Jay Leno web series.
Mavis was there. However, Mavis was there.
Mavis was there.
Mavis is there. I'm obsessed with Mavis.
I've never seen her. What is she?
I picture her like Rosie from the Jetsons, like made out of car parts.
Yes.
Is she like Shelley Miscavige? Like, does she exist?
Yeah. I feel like it's an acronym for like machine automated video internet service. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Julie, I wanted to do a bit with you that I thought would be fun, and we could kind of go in and out of it, because I always feel like listening to your podcast and also just you in real life, you have good takes on things, and some things you know more about than I do. Some things, not less. I think you know more. But I wanted to just kind of talk to you about some things that have been going on in the in pop culture to see what your take is on some of this stuff. And this is the first one that I wanted to kind of bring up because this is like a big thing last week. But I wanted to just see what your thought on this was. So Beanie Feldstein gets Funny Girl, but this whole thing about Leah Michele, like I didn't get necessarily what this has been about. And I know that you obviously you're writing on Schmigadoon, you understand the Broadway musical.
I love Broadway.
Yeah.
Leah Michele thought she was like a shoo-in for this gig.
Oh.
And it was kind of, like, I imagine it was the same thing when Nicole Kidman got cast to play Lucille Ball. It was one of those things where like everyone in Deborah Messing's life were probably instructed to just like aggressively talk about anything else.
Yes.
And just one of those things where like she goes to turn on the TV and you're just like, electricity's broken, and you whack the plug out of the wall, or like she goes to, it's like a Neil Simon play. She goes to reach for her phone and you smash it with a hammer, be like, oh my God, it's got such slippery fingers, but you just want to keep her away from the news because she'll like physically die of jealousy.
Oh no, and it's that tough moment too, because it's like when people know that that's what your goal is or you want to do it, like then you have to also then come out and like wish the person well. Like I remember Deborah Messing was like, I got to do my version
like
of it.
Right, like as high as possible. Like, I can't wait to see what she does.
Am I confusing things that because I auditioned for the Lucille Ball thing, obviously not the Lucille Ball part. I'm not an idiot, but is Aaron Sorkin directing that, or did he write that?
I think so.
I think he wrote it, because I remember when I was auditioning. I'm so stupid. When I audition for stuff, like just putting myself on tape for stuff, I always kind of improvise a little bit. And then I remember sending that and going, oh, wait, is that for Aaron Sorkin? Like, he famously is like, no, say every fucking like letter of what I wrote. Don't improvise anything. Yeah. And obviously I never heard from them again.
They call him the King's Speech. You come for the king, you best not miss. You don't want to, him and who else? Mamet.
Yeah.
I auditioned for Sorkin with Sorkin, and I walked into the room, which was in his offices, and it's a very intimidating office because like there's like props around from Sports Night and West Wing, and it very much, it's not like there's a lot of decoration there to let you know you are in Sorkin's office, and I knew he was going to be there, and I walked into the room. And normally when you audition for things on that level, the director is in the background. They'll have their niceties, but they're behind the camera, right? They're behind, and they're kind of watching you. They're engaged, but not like engaged. And he came in the room. He goes, I'm going to read with you. Pulled a chair up and was facing me. Our knees were touching each other, and we did the scene closer than I've ever, like, I don't even sit that close to my wife.
He gave you COVID.
It was such an intense, and then I knew that idea, like, you can't mess this up. You can't mess up this reading with Aaron Sorkin, and I did it.
Right.
By the way, spoiler alert, I did not get the part, but I did it, and he goes, that was right. That was his only note.
Right?
Wow. That was right.
Yeah.
That was right.
True or false?
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. I did not get it.
You did it right.
But if I did, then you would have seen me as one of the stars of Studio on the Sunset Strip.
Oh, are you serious?
Yep. Oh,
it was for that?
It was for that.
Did you go out for the Nate Cordry part?
I don't remember. No, I went out for a part that was like, that went to a different, like a side part. It was not like that thing. It was like one of the writers, one of those. Yeah. But yeah, it was, I mean, I barely remember it. I was frightened out of my mind.
Julie, I have a dumb question just about New York, because you're in New York. Is Broadway, and I don't know this because I live in Pasadena, California, where I don't know anything, but is Broadway back yet? Coming back?
Not yet. Although you wouldn't know it from the musical number that like Fallon and Corden did together
Yeah.
with like all these. it was to the tune of "You'll Be Back" by Hamilton, and it was all about how Broadway. And it's like before the Delta variant, and it was also before Felicia Rashad like tweeted that horrible thing.
Oh wow!
So she came out and she gets like this huge round of applause, and then it's
Oh
like
my God.
literally 2 weeks later when it's like, "Hi, Delta variant," and all. It didn't age past its like shelf, a short shelf life. But
it's a
but
rough
no,
one.
yeah, I mean it's coming back. I know it's coming back. I know that like they one play is open. There's one that's open.
Blue Man, is it Blue Man Group?
It is Blue Man.
Yeah,
it is Blue Man. Yeah,
Blue Man. They don't make you. They say you. They actively say you can't wear a mask, and they're still going to spit mushrooms, marshmallows in your mouth.
They're spitting ping pong balls directly into your mouth.
I wanted to show you this because Hubel and I talked about this, but I haven't even watched it because I've been saving it for the show. So this is what I want to show right here, which is Giuliani is on Cameo.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
this is amazing.
Yeah,
for only like $300, and I say only 300 because you would think he would price himself up, but he's actually pricing himself in an afford. Like there are high level celebrities that get paid a lot of money, like, but he's in a sweet spot. Like if you're on the fence and you really are a fan of Giuliani, like maybe if you've been on the fence for a good prank gift, it kind of works.
It's all MSNBC people doing it, sending it to each other as a prank, I think. Like, and I'm not joking about that. Like I heard some MSNBC people talking about like, yeah, so-and-so sent me, Joy Reid sent me a thing from Giuliani.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh man. I mean, I think if you're going to do it as a goof, you better be assembling a soundboard. Like give him enough to say that you can like reconstruct it into sentences, like make some so that he says something like basically like have him read Mein Kampf out loud,
right,
but out of order, so you can cut it together later.
Yeah.
By the way, I guarantee you could just give him Mein Kampf and give him 25 bucks. He'd be like, just read this, please. Read these two passages. Like, okay, great.
I know you're overthinking it by tricking him.
He doesn't need to be. The one thing this man does not need is to be tricked. No. He will. My God.
Our friend Jason Wallner pulled a good trick on him. Borat 2.
Yes.
Are you going to play this video? Does it play, Paul?
Yeah.
I don't hear the audio.
Oh, you know what? Here, I'm gonna play the audio right now. Let me just Molly, can you just get us to a normal thing?
I look very sweaty.
All right, I'm gonna share audio now. I got it. Here it is. This is it. Okay, so I think this is gonna work. All right, let's take a look. Okay, here we go. This is already good.
Happy 50th birthday, Danny Jewing. It's a pleasure to wish you a 50th. That's a big birthday, 5-0. I know you come originally from New Zealand and you've got dual citizenship, New Zealand and the United States of America. And I know that you were baptized in New Zealand. You told me that. I've been to New Zealand once. It's a beautiful country. It takes your breath away in many, many places, but this is a beautiful country too. I have to say the greatest in the world. That's why everybody wants to come here. Nobody wants to leave.
What?
And I want to thank you for making your contribution to our country. You're still a young man at 50 years old. I don't know much about you from the things that you told me, but see, your birthday was on August 1st. But you can celebrate your birthday as long as you want. And the 5-0 birthday is a big one.
Oh, no.
So you enjoy it for a while. Stretch it out, okay? And I know you wanted to hear that, so happy birthday, Danny Jewing. And God bless you.
Oh, wow. That was, honestly, I couldn't have imagined it to be better than that.
And how does Cameo work? I have an echo on my thing, I think, because you shared the audio. But
okay. Cameo works by, I think Cameo takes like.
No, I know, but I mean, like, is he posting, were you able to grab that one? Because that's like an example.
You could download
so
it.
he thought that was
like
great.
If you go on his, like, if you go on Rudy Giuliani's pages, you could see all the videos he sent for like different people.
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
like trying on pants. You can see it before you spend the 325, and that one's so smooth. And I'm sure his team is like, oh, this is great because you really improvised a lot. You showed everything you knew about New Zealand.
That's my question to you guys, as like veteran improvisers. Like, have you gotten rid of your cringe reflex when you see somebody just trying to stretch something out like that, and you're just watching them and
I love
It hurts me. It hurts me. Like I have no love lost for this man, but that just hurt me. Like I felt bad for him. I felt bad for everybody.
Man, not me. I'm gonna go there right after the show is over and just watch all of them. Like I love the awkwardness, and you're literally watching a man eat shit. He has gone. He's gone bankrupt. He's gone bankrupt. He's gonna go to jail. He's going to go to jail. Yes, he's gonna go to jail. And he is fucking eating shit, and I am here for it. I love it. I love it.
My favorite part was when he was like, it was August 1st. I'm like, what are you going to do with that information? You're going to like start riffing on what it's like to be a Leo?
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, that's a more complex thought than he'll ever put together. But I as someone who has purchased cameos for people, I know the information that you put in, and that guy gave him nothing. That guy gave him nothing. He's like, I'm a dual citizen and I'm my 50th riff. Go for it. Like, that is rough. I will say that I got the same vibe from that I get from like watching Bruce Willis in movies. I feel like someone's propped him up in a chair and been like, go, earn. It's like, let's just call it a day. Let's not put him in the chair anymore.
I saw Bruce Willis on stage in the theatrical play version of Misery, starring him and Laurie Metcalf.
Whoa! And
Laurie Metcalf was so good, but it was like she was doing the work of two people because she had to carry him. He was so bad, and he had an earpiece in, sort of famously. He was being fed his lines, and he was so bad that like at one point at the end I'm gonna spoil the end of Misery. At the end, his character is like hobbled, like he's still alive, but he walks with a cane. So it's at like the book reading. I don't know if you've seen the movie, like it's at the reading, and he like hallucinates her, and then it's the end. So in the play, you see like a little easel that's like, signing today and whatever, his character. So he's on like one side of the stage, and all he has to do is like with a cane limp to the center so he can give a speech into the microphone. He broke character almost immediately, forgetting he had a limp, and then he limped the rest of the way to the microphone.
Oh,
amazing.
No. Wait,
amazing.
Do you remember that story of him? And I'm trying to remember what I can tell that's not like out of school, but I think this whole story is not out of school. On SNL, he just walked off in the middle of a sketch, and he was like, I did it because it's funny. But like he left in the middle of the sketch. Like and like at the after party, he was like, right?
What?
I did that.
Really?
I helped you. Yeah. He walked off in the middle of a sketch.
Oh my God.
Because he thought it was funny that he walked off.
Yeah, like you guys got to deal with that now. It's like we were talking before about like bad improv suggestions, like penis. Oh, hey, not on me anymore. That's on you. You do have fun. Yeah. He just walked off.
But he showed up to the party.
Yes. Because like everyone thought he was super pissed off. But no, that was him like doing a bit. It's like when you used to like when I was a kid, it was always like, oh, Mel Gibson's such a prankster. I came into my trailer and it was covered in cat shit. It's like, no, that's just a bully. That's a bully.
His voicemail was like, when you wear those leggings, you can see your pussy through your pants. You're humiliating me.
I don't want to keep you too long because I know you're on New York Times, but I want to just show you one other thing here because I want to get your take on this as well. And I just haven't really been able to talk about it with anybody. What do we think about J-Lo and Ben? Are we happy about this? Not happy about this? Where do we all fall?
What's going on in that photo on the left?
What is going on? What is going on there?
I
think we're being played. Are we not isn't this publicists?
We said this at first when Kim and Kanye started dating. We were like, this isn't. This isn't real. Oh, really? Those kids look pretty real.
Yeah.
They didn't change the movie
yeah.
poster for Secret Lives of Pets or whatever. I still see Kim Kardashian West on there when I drive my kids to preschool in the morning.
I thought you were gonna say because they replaced Louis' voice. Do you really think they were gonna change the poster? Like, no Louis.
I just was surprised that they wouldn't print up a poster just like Kim Kardashian. Like, let's just cut out the West or just blank it out or do something.
So you think this is real? You think, Julie? You think this is a real romance going on?
I don't know what it is. This is too far away from me. It's closer to you guys because this is so Hollywood. This is LA. This is not New York.
Do you have any
romance.
opinion on Jen Ann and Dave Schwim back together again?
Wait, what's happening?
Is that true?
Apparently, apparently Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer have been seen multiple times in very romantic settings ever since the Friends reunion. They rekindled their romantic relationship.
I didn't know that they ever kindled.
That's what I thought too.
I didn't know that either.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, I have one more.
I'm against it.
And this is the final. This is maybe the final one, which is like OnlyFans now not doing nudity.
Wait, is that true?
Yep.
What? That don't make no sense.
How am I fucking gonna make
That's
money?
Instagram.
eBay's like, no more collectibles.
eBay. You can just look at things, but you can't buy them now.
I saw that Dolezal started an OnlyFans yesterday.
Oh, really?
And I remember thinking like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know what she's going to be doing on there. And now that this is like, now I'm just like, oh, okay. So she's, I don't know, is it lectures? Is it hairstyles?
Wow.
I just feel like the only thing that was interesting about OnlyFans ultimately was that you could be like twerking or doing whatever you're doing dirty stuff. Like that's the whole idea. You pay for some dirty stuff, Yeah.
I like, Paul, that you think that dirty stuff is twerking. That's not what people are doing on OnlyFans.
It's like when you ask kids what sex is. It's like when butts, you rub your
fart
butt
into someone else's butt, right?
Yeah. You pee onto someone's pee, and then you pee on their butt.
I was completely mistaken. I thought, yeah, you're right. I don't know what OnlyFans is for. If there's not going to be any butts on it.
Yeah,
it's like this is a perfect like a company going, okay, we got a great business here at OnlyFans, but we need to expand because we can't be in the App Store. But the only thing we have to do is just
true? Is that what it is?
Yeah. So they can't be in the App Store. So now there will be an official app, but you take away the thing that has made it successful.
So, like, I mean, but that company, I'm sure, will just rebrand an offshoot where people are still shoving things inside themselves, but it won't be called OnlyFans, right?
I guess.
I mean, otherwise, I'm going to start it. Like, I'm going to start a bunch of chat.
You mean
rooms.
porno? Are you inventing porno?
Yes, I'm going to invent it. People in front of webcams putting stuff in their butts, or wherever. Who cares?
I did do one deep dive that I did because I don't really I really was trying to understand what is behind this paywall, because it's like people like what you said, Rachel Dolan's is like, what is she doing on there? Like, what is the thing? And there's doing? There are people on YouTube that just review OnlyFans sites, and it is
really?
It's like a 5-minute review. Like, yeah, she's pretty good. She does this stuff and no pictures. It's all like it's like the old like oral tradition of just coming back. Oh, I saw it, and this is what it's like. I think it's worth the $3 for a month. I mean, and it's like. So
it's
if you type in like
OnlyFans
read
the Penthouse forum for you and be like,
apparently she was working at a restaurant.
It was pretty good. He'd never written anything before, but he was compelled to.
He went to a restaurant. It was weird. Apparently,
she was a waitress.
Julie, I love your apartment. I love.
Oh, thank you.
Everything behind you.
Do you recognize the poster is?
I do. That's the Albert Brooks movie, right?
That's
yeah,
Albert Brooks real life, and then. That is that is Head, the Monkeys movie, Head.
Yes.
I was
I've
just
never
talking
seen
to
that.
Sharpling about Head, the movie.
It's the best. It's the best
Is
movie ever.
It's so good. And by the way, you and Sharpling, your
Yeah.
podcast is called Double Threat. You're two of my
Yeah.
favorite people, and I love that you
Oh.
guys have teamed up together to do this podcast.
That is
And-
I wish that I could invest in podcasts. I would invest in that podcast. Like that is the two
Well,
of you guys together. That's amazing.
It's like the only like 2 hours of the week where I'm just not like aggressively depressed. It's really fun. It's
Are
just
you in
fun
this? Are you
and-
in this like moment too? Because we were talking about this like a little bit depressing lately, like right? Like it's like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like that's in New York,
Oh,
but there's
it's
like a
clobbering.
Yeah.
It's just because like the progress isn't linear, and you felt like things were getting better, and then you're like, wait, did I miss my window? And that thing of
Yeah.
like, if my best years are behind me, like those weren't very good. Like was June and July the best it's gonna get?
Yeah.
I really was. It was like it was such a very like short. It feels so long ago. Like, yeah, and it was like this moment of like we're gonna do it. And by the way, I'm happy. Well, no, I'm not actually happy because I was more hesitant in those 3 weeks. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take it slow,
It's too good
and
to
then
be
by week
true.
4, I'm gonna really
Right.
re-enter into
Right.
society. And then
Did
it was like,
you
well, now it's
eat-
shut back down again. Yeah.
Did you eat inside? And this is what I did. I ate in a restaurant inside.
Yes.
I went to see Cruella inside without a mask.
Wow.
Yes.
And what else did I do? I don't know. I don't think nothing else like I didn't like go to a party inside or anything like that.
Yeah.
I did go to basketball games. I went to a lot of basketball games
Mhm.
inside with masks, without masks. I flew to
Okay.
Phoenix to go to a basketball game. And in Phoenix, literally no one was wearing a mask inside the stadium. And I peer pressure, I was like, whoosh, took it off.
That's terrible.
And
That's
you
how
know,
that
there was
works,
something about
huh?
there was something so colossally cocky about the Phoenix fans. I was like, well,
Yeah.
everyone in here is not wearing a mask. Like at
Yeah,
least the
yeah.
Staples Center, it was like maybe like a 75-25 split.
Oof.
And I was like, it's off. And then feeling guilty the whole game. And then I would do things where I'd be like, put it back on for a couple minutes. Take it off.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
what doctors recommend is sporadic, like
Yeah.
whatever you can. What about flying? Was flying scary?
I think
No, I feel
flying's like the
yeah.
safest thing, right? Isn't
Really?
flying like super safe? I think so. I mean, again, if I'm talking, I'm not a fucking doctor, but like, I thought I heard that flying was like pretty safe because they're just circulating the air. And
But you don't need to be
Everyone's masked.
vaccinated to get on a plane,
No.
right? Or is that okay? There's no
No,
like mandates okay.
we doubled up on masks. I flew a few times. I did go to Hawaii, and
Well, you were in that the White Lotus finale, I remember.
yeah, that was
oh, you were great in that.
Spoiler
Paul.
alert.
That was great when
Yeah.
that guy took a shit on your face because you were in that suitcase.
Oh
You're
man,
like,
you were
that
great
was
in that.
really,
Paul.
really
Thank you,
funny.
thank you
Funny,
much. Thank
funny,
you,
funny.
it is. Yeah, it was like, yeah, that like, those days, those golden days. But yeah, flying, I was not really frightened about flying
Right.
for whatever reason. I felt like I was like geared up for it. I was also like mentally
Yeah.
prepared for it. I felt like I brought my Jason Mantzoukas wet wipes. I got everything all kind of cleaned up before I sat down, you know, handles and everything. And I felt
Right.
very confident in that. But yeah, it's yeah.
Mantzoukas should sell like wet wipes and it's like hand sanitizer, you know, just with his face on it.
Yeah.
I love
People go
thinking
crazy
of business plans for other people.
my
favorite
Julie,
thing.
people can listen to Double Threat ad free on
wherever
yeah.
podcasts are wherever you get your podcasts, and we would love to have you guys on. That would be amazing.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh,
God.
I would love it. I would love it.
love
It's
it.
such a fun show, and thank you, Julie, for being here. It's so good to
Oh,
see
anytime!
you. and
It's always
you're
a
the
pleasure.
best.
I love you guys. You are
Thanks,
the best. Thank you
Julie.
so much for
Thank you for
having
staying up.
me.
All
Okay,
right,
Good to see
bye.
you. Bye.
So good.
Good,
The
good.
best.
Now that Paul was an appropriate
A nice out.
out. Yeah. Like usually, you know, you just drop them out like right when they're saying like, hey, I just want to tell you also, and then you cut them off. That was
Yeah.
a good out.
Yeah, we tried to, you know, look, we're all learning. We're all trying to get better.
Yeah.
I mean, some amazing guests tonight. Really fun.
Yeah.
There's something we were talking about though too that I was gonna try to go back to with you because
The wedding,
maybe.
me giving a wedding toast, Craigslist job.
no, I think this cameo thing of us showing up at events is kind of a fun thing. Like we can kind of, populate your world. Like let's get in there and start fucking with your friends.
Yeah. What about a movie called Wedding Crashers? Has that ever been done?
Bro, they're making the sequel right now.
Wait, is there really a sequel?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
There is a sequel. I know because someone in my life just auditioned for it.
Your son. Your other son.
Twanch got picked up because we always say that millions of casting directors watch a show and they saw Twanch and they were like, that's a young Vince Vaughn in the making. And it is baby wedding crashers. Like, so it's more of, it's kind of a Back to the Future.
It's like a
prequel. Yeah.
Did you know that Vince Vaughn is this old news that he's missing part of his thumb?
Ooh.
And it's from like years ago, but if you look in anything that Vince Vaughn does, he's missing but a significant portion of his thumb.
Oh, interesting.
But he kind of hides it. Like, he'll, like, if there's a scene where he's waving, he'll go like, "Hey, everybody," or I'm exaggerating, but
yeah.
But anyway, this is just for our viewers. Next time you're watching a Vince Vaughn movie, and I'm sure Vince Vaughn watches this show. And
he's definitely watching this show. He likes it because of our political leanings. Because we are, obviously, look, we don't want strong government.
Is he still? He's been a Republican for a long time. Is he still?
He's more of a libertarian.
Okay, he's not like a Trump Republican.
No, but he would be like one of those guys. Like, well, yeah, but I'm voting for Trump.
Okay,
like but I'm
so
not.
He is.
I'm not for. Like, it's like I feel like he's one of those guys who will have like that kind of a point of view. It's like, yeah, we should look.
Yeah. So he doesn't. Okay, no, we're not gonna get into all this. I'm not gonna fucking start beef with Vince Vaughn. What a fucking sounds like a piece of shit, though, is what I'm saying.
Oh man. What should we get into? Because we can get into a couple things. I wanted to show. You know what? I'm going to show you this thing because I think this is really funny. Jack Wagner. Jack Wagner's a comedian out here. He has a podcast with Brandon Wardell.
Yeah,
they're very funny guys.
Yes.
He posted this thing, so I'm kind of stealing a little bit of his content, but I am crediting him because it was so funny to me. Here in LA. I was gonna say here in LA we have CVS's. Everyone has a CVS, I would imagine. I would not like really have to set this thing up, but I'm gonna show you this thing that he posted that made me laugh so hard. So he was in a CVS and a guy pulled in on a fucking dirt bike.
What?
Like you see it like in right. So the dirt bike is propped up in the store, and then like everyone's staring around and everyone's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then look at this, he goes in and buys a case of Blue Moon, and that's his that was it. He's like, I had to get that
what?
Blue Moon.
That's so awesome. It's so great that sorry, whose Instagram is this?
This is Jack Wagner.
He had the presence of mind to just be photographing this. That's so great.
It is so funny. It's just killing me. By the way, I just got a text message that my COVID test person is here and I'm going to be here in a second. I have to take a COVID test because I'm currently, Rob, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I'm in the world of cooking right now because I've been working on Serge Ibaka's cooking an interview show.
I keep seeing that. I keep seeing that on your Instagram. So how often do you have to test for that?
The correct amount. Like I don't, whatever it is. Like
fairly often. Yeah.
Fairly often. Yeah. I think pretty much every other day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun to be doing the show. I think you would actually love the show. I would love to have you on it.
I love that. I would love to do that. I love that you have a guy come into your house to test you. Really, because when I was shooting the Reno 911 movie last week, and they were doing the same thing. Where God bless these shows and movies, they're like, let's just make it as easy as possible. We'll send a dude to your house because all it is a guy. It's a kid. And, rolls up in his car and he's like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" And I'm like, "Hey, bro." And he's like, swabs your nose and drives away, you know, and like it's so easy. Like I love that these shows are making it very easy for people.
Well, now it seems like this guy who comes, he swabs you, and within like 25 minutes you get a result. And it's a rapid PCR, whatever. It doesn't make a difference, but it is the amazingness of how quickly we've figured out how to like get this thing done at this point.
Yeah. Did you want to? It sounded earlier like you might have a promotional deal with CVS in the works. Did you want to try to give that a shot?
Well, Rob, when it comes to one-stop shopping, of your pharmaceutical needs.
Sorry, has the audition started?
Oh, well, here, thank you.
Because take me out. Yeah.
Hey, it's Paul Scheer. Boy, life is pretty tough. And you know what's really tough? Going to the pharmacy, then going to the supermarket, and then getting my lotto tickets. And not to mention stopping at that ATM. That's why I go to CVS. When John CVS started this company, he had one goal in mind: to make sure that you only have to go to one place, because it's good for the economy and it's good for the environment. Of CVS.
Okay. Are you done? Whoa, this is a long drink. All right, cut. Oh, you're still going.
Water. Is that right? I mean,
people in the chat are making fun of me that we have our own COVID guy. These are shows. I don't pay for that.
Yeah, this is not like look, okay. I made a TikTok yesterday that went crazily viral. I've never had that happen to me. It was kind of blew my mind because I do dumbass TikToks. And
what was it? I'm sorry, I haven't seen.
There's no reason for you to see it, but basically there's like a meme going around where the idea was like, it's like the idea would be like this. I'd be like, oh, I won't tell anyone, and then it would be freeze frame, but my husband, like it was like what you say versus what you mean. And so I did one which was like, great, I'll definitely try your artisanal ketchup, and then it's like I freeze frame like, fuck that shit. I want Heinz. It's a dumb thing about not liking artisanal ketchup, or whatever, and homemade ketchup. And the amount of people are like, oh yeah, I guess I'm not fucking rich. I don't get artisanal ketchup. I'm like, but by the way, many people identified with this. But I was like, the least rich thing you could be doing is talking about ketchup. It's not like ketchup is not like a like food of the gods. It wasn't like I was like, caviar. It's not from Russia. I'm not gonna have that.
Yeah.
Do you follow that? Do you like homemade ketchup? Just that curiosity.
So the show has now segued straight from your CVS audition into my take on artisanal ketchup.
Yeah. What do you think, buddy?
Ketchup.
Yeah.
I like it. I will say, I haven't been to a restaurant in a million years, but I do like it when a restaurant makes their own ketchup, if that's what you're asking.
That's what I was saying. That's my whole point. I don't.
Oh, you don't like that? You like Heinz?
It tastes good. I like it. I like Heinz. And people are
right,
like,
Molly is Molly ketchup. Molly just throws up graphics to besmirch us. Can I go back to your audition for a second?
Yeah, sure. For
so there's just a couple things. Yeah, your audition was great. I thought, well, no.
That was a little loose. It was a little loose.
Couple things historically I'm not sure about. John CVS founded CVS.
Yes.
Is that true?
According to the Wikipedia I started.
Okay. And then what was the thing at the end with the long drink of water, and then you took it away and you said water, like you started going into a commercial for water.
Well, the idea is like I'm trying to show you some of the great things you can get at CVS.
Okay.
So there's like,
but you know how commercials work. Commercials are they're about 30 seconds, or they can be 15 seconds, but it's not going to be. I mean, on a rare occasion, like a pharmaceutical company can afford a minute commercial. That's
yeah. Well, this one they're gonna put a lot of money behind.
Okay. But do you want to give it another crack? I mean, just while I
have some different copy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Molly, can you keep
take your time? Take your time.
I'll just cite myself. Paul Scheer. Sorry, hold on.
Can you give us a profile?
Yeah, sure.
And other side. Yep.
Paul Scheer, 7'1".
Yeah, you don't have to smile on your profile.
7'1".
No, your real height, Paul.
6'12", and I am 140 pounds. Okay. Hey, come here. Yeah, you come here. You got hemorrhoids?
Back up, man.
Yeah.
Back up. I
Well-
don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't like where it's going. It's
My
too
papa's back. Yeah.
it's too intimate. And I can tell you that CVS, if you're just doing these and recording these and sending them to CVS marketing
course.
headquarters.
I tag it. I tag them. I don't even send them. I just tag.
Oh, you post these yourself on your own social media and you're trying to get hired? That one to me seemed a little too intimate. The getting your face close to the viewer's face and then saying, hey, yeah, you come here. You got hemorrhoids. Like, where is that going to go?
I'm going to solve a lot of people's problems because the line. Okay, I'll give it to you without the acting. Hey, you got hemorrhoids?
Yeah.
You got a hankering for Pringles? You need some money quick, and you want to get rich? Well, simple. Come to CVS. Put that cream on your asshole. Chow down on some sour cream and chips. Make sure you get your lotto ticket fix and get that money to bail out your mom.
I'm not
CVS.
Positive that they sell lottery tickets at CVS. They might. I think that's more like a gas station thing. But
I mean, I could swap out lotto tickets with cigarettes.
And I'm just asking you to look at the copy that you have. It actually says put that cream on your asshole. I'm asking.
Sorry, you're right. No butthole. Sorry.
Okay.
I just look at it here.
Jeez.
Yeah, butthole. But I think we would do like an after dark commercial too, like the ones that would air.
Okay.
You know, the ones that would air like for the adults. You know.
Yeah.
You know, late night ones, the ones during the news and stuff like that. Yeah. You know. Yeah. I mean, that's what I think. What do you? I mean, to me, I'm already like, oh, gotta get to CVS.
Obviously. I mean, now we've been talking about CVS, and this is unpaid, by the way. This is
Rob. Like, what's like one thing you need to get right now? Gift for your daughter. Gift for your daughter.
I do. Yeah, I do need to get a gift for her.
Got some case of wine.
I mean, I could use a case of wine.
Birthday card for your wife.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some of those products that are also sold on TV, as seen on
Square
TV.
ice cream. Square ice cream.
Square ice cream. I don't even know what that is.
Ice cream in a cone with square, not a scoop.
They have that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
You mean like a popsicle? What are you talking about?
They got a scooper, but it's a square one. And so you put it on there.
And the scooper is square. Okay.
Yeah. You want a VCR tape rewinder?
I mean, I don't. Sure, if you got one. I mean, I could.
One place to go.
Jeez. Well, this is all good information. That's great information.
One side. Oh man. Rob, we are I know you're not going to be there next week, but we are doing a live show in LA. The group that you and I have been a part of for 16 years.
Yes.
In LA, Facebook.
Oh my God. I'm so jealous.
I'm so bummed that you're not there and you have a great reason.
My wife is watching this. It's my wife's birthday.
Dude,
next Friday.
Miss that. You cannot miss
it. I can't miss it for an improvised comedy. Although I would love to. But actually I'm flying to Seattle. They're going to Seattle and then I'm going to fly to Seattle that day. Please don't rob my house.
No, we're not going to rob your house. We're going to protect it.
But I would love to. So the show is at Largo on the 27th of August.
8:30 p.m. Yeah, come out. It's going to be Rob Riggle's going to be there. Carl Tart. Put your tees up for the Carl Tart.
Put your fucking tees up. Yeah.
We got Seth Morris. We got Mary Holland. Just a great crew of people.
Charlie Sanders, Owen Burke.
Charlie Sanders, Owen Burke. It's the crew that has been doing Facebook with special guests, and that's what it's going to be every month. Because here's my thought. I'm so bummed that you're bummed. I'm so bummed that you're not going to be there, but I'm also like, we just need to get one on the books so then we can do another one, and then we'll keep on doing them. Because once we start to do them, then people will come. Because we're never all going to be there.
No, but that's the trick too. Is to get some all-star superstars to drop by, like Mary Holland. Oh my God, she's the funniest person alive. I'm so psyched you got her. I can't wait to do another one. So. So Friday the 27th.
Friday the 27th. You have to be masked and you have to be vaxxed.
Yes.
We got to look at your vax card to make sure you get in there. But it's super fun, Largo. And we're selling tickets at a good rate for a show that it's hard to say, like, because we didn't want to, like, it's it's called Dinosaur. but like we're trying to make sure that people understand what the fuck that even is. But it's like, again, hard to sell improv, but once hopefully people will know it's an improvised show.
Well, every scene is going to be someone fucking a dinosaur, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I'm so glad that we went with dinosaur instead of bitcoins. I like bitcoins for a brief moment. I like bitcoins. Feel like it would have run out of steam too quickly.
I love dinosaur because it is a reference to what we are, but also I would say people are gonna fucking have a blast at the show. I
think it's gonna be a blast. It'll be really, really fun. But yeah, man, this was a great, fun show.
Super fun. Shout out to Andy Richter. Shout out to Julie Klausner. Shout out to Craigslist and for hooking me up with that job. I am going to take that job as the chemistry teacher to that little kid in Brentwood because I want to write a movie about that. Obviously,
that is a movie right there.
Oh yeah, clearly the kid comes up with like some sort of nerve agent or something like that leaks out of the garage, and then the guy has to like clean it up, and meanwhile the guy probably starts fucking the kid's mom. Right? I'm spitballing.
Okay, now I don't know.
You
kind of got a little bit more graphic than
I don't know what it is
exactly.
I haven't figured out all the beats, but it's a touching, heartfelt relationship movie about a guy looking for to be a father figure to this kid, and then obviously he starts fucking his mom on the side. And who knows if I would I'm going to write the movie. I don't know if I would be able to star in it. I'll have
People
to
say it sounds formulaic, but I actually think it actually is not formulaic at all. It's really good. So we're on board. And but yeah, we'll see you next week. We'll be back next week. We'll be having another great guest, and we'll see where we are. We'll see what's going on.
Great show.
Later, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.